So what the hell happened to the welterweight division while we were gone? And on top of that, you've got the recent announcement of the Conor McGregor retirement. There's been a lot of everything since we last met we're going to talk about.
They're here.
Welcome to the Hook J Podcast.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
When it's all said and done, I know one thing that I can do. I can fight. I can give it, and I can take it.
You should have left me over on that other game that I'm from, that more ruthless game where we bounce heads off the canvas and drill them into the floor. You should have left me where I was.
The show starts now.
Since we last talked about this, there's been two UFCs and a couple other shows in between, but the big ones, or the big development rather, has been in the welterweight division, right? So what is happening with this? Because it's really shaken up the rankings as of late.
If you're talking about Tyron losing his belt to Kamaru Usman, then I understand what you're talking about. Kamaru Usman did exactly what I thought he was going to do when he fought Tyron. He just laid on him and wore him out. Tyron looked like he had nothing, which is weird because Tyron is a really good wrestler. And he's really good control if you look at his defensive capabilities, because he kept Damian Maia, the backpack, the human backpack. He kept that guy off of him, but he had nothing for Kamaru. I don't know if it was like a size thing, because Kamaru was kind of broad.
Yeah.
And his wrestling is really top notch. So I don't know if that's what it was, but Tyron just had a big issue trying to stop Kamaru, and he couldn't stop him. And then if we go look at all the rankings, man, this week was just crazy.
So Usman beats Woodley, no problem, really. I watched the video again. First, I thought it was kind of boring. You go back, you watch the small details. Usman dominated the whole fight, no really question. Did. But since then, you've got Darren Till losing to Masvidal.
Yeah, Gamebred's back, boys.
You got Masvidal beating the hell out of Edwards backstage.
He gave him a 3-piece and a soda.
On top of that, the same card with Usman, Ben Askren beats Robbie Lawler, which was controversial. We talked about that last time. And then recently, you've got Pettis beating Wonder Boy out of nowhere. I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen.
Okay. One, it's Pettis with a knockout, which hasn't happened in a while.
It's been a while.
And two, it's with a Superman punch. It's the craziest thing I've seen in a while. There's been some crazy knockouts, and there's been some really good fights. But that was just insane. Pettis, always trying to live up to the Showtime name, throws out a wild Superman punch and actually catches him with it.
Sometimes you could hit that ace with a dart.
I'm just telling you, man. That was the craziest thing.
It's interesting to me. If you go back a year and a half ago, the welterweight division was basically dead, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Colby comes in, he comes up with the make the welterweight division great again, comes with the trash talk, then everything comes back alive. Since then, since the trash talking and the pushing of certain people, the welterweight division has kind of taken over as far as the one to watch, in my opinion.
I mean, for me, it's the three that are back-to-back, really. It's the lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, but yeah, the welterweight is just on fire right now.
In recent months, the featherweights, the Max went through all of them, right?
Yeah.
Goes up to light heavyweight. But light heavyweight's
Not
been...
light heavyweight.
Or, sorry, goes up...
Good Lord.
Goes up to lightweight, and since Khabib had the belt, and Conor and all of them, and they gave out the belts left and right, and all that happened, it's kind of stalled out there. Right now it's kind of getting back to like, oh, there's progression, there's people moving up in the rankings, there's that. But the one to watch right now is the welterweight. Middleweight is kind of stalled out because you don't have that many people, because Robert Whittaker went through most of the people there, and he's out right now because he's hurt.
Yeah, crazy injury.
You got 2 stars that they're trying to push with Israel, right? And Kelvin, but not a lot of people are taking to him. It's kind of they're trying to force him on you.
I think Israel's got a lot more star power behind him than Kelvin does. Because Kelvin, he is just not somebody who's marketable, and it's not It's not because he's bad at what he does. He doesn't have presence. He really doesn't have presence. Even Cejudo, the awkward little shit, has more presence.
They're just both awkward. I think Kelvin's just a bigger, awkward Cejudo, in a way, his personality.
Yeah.
But it's kind of stalled out in middleweight. Light heavyweight's been a big, mix-up since then, but Jones is on top again, so Jones is going to be there for a while. And then when he does lose it, they'll be like, immediate rematch, which it'll be whatever.
Which I hope it's the opposite.
And then heavyweight's kind of slow. It's always been slow.
They're heavyweights.
Yeah. You want to do the badoom with it? No? I'll do it for you. Badoom.
Thank you.
There you go. So, the one to watch right now is the welterweight division. And I think that's probably the perfect spot. It's right in between everybody. It's like right in the middle of all the weight classes. So, it's the one to watch. And I love the whole back and forth right now between Usman and Covington.
I really hope that fight happens.
It should.
Actually, what I really hope would happen is Tyron gets a shot at Colby just to seal that deal. Let Tyron beat him and then give Colby the shot at Usman so he just gets effed twice.
Here's what I want to happen, all right? So I want Usman and Colby to fight, right? We've wanted it for a while.
Yeah.
Let him do it. But on the undercard, you put Ben Askren versus Masvidal, right? Mm-hmm. So the winner of that gets the winner of those two.
Yeah. I mean, if Thompson hadn't lost to Pettis in this last one, I think he would be a good runner-up to fight Usman second. But with Askren coming in and getting his win over Robbie Lawler, and he's already ranked 6th in the welterweight division, I think he's got one more fight, 2 more fights at most before they put him up against the champ. And if it's Usman, that's going to be a really good wrestling match.
Yeah.
We're going to see some really interesting thing there because I think it's actually going to be Usman trying to strike him.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
But Usman's not bad on a stand-up. He's just so good at top pressure and using his actual physicality, I should say.
See, this is what I imagine the welterweight division, what's going to happen. Usman's going to take 2 more fights, right? And then he's going to go away for a bit because he's probably going to have surgery, right?
I think he's already having surgery.
I think he's probably going to have more because, his legs or his knees are messed up. He's got back issues, things like that. And I imagine now, since he's making more money, he can go have it fixed, right? And especially after a pay-per-view buy, after he gets cut in with all that, he can go take the time off to do it.
Right.
So I imagine he'll fight a couple more times, take the time off to go do that. They'll probably crown another interim and then have them combine it eventually. But with the shakeup of him actually beating Woodley, it kind of tossed that whole division in the air, Mm-hmm. It gives so much room for everybody to move up.
Yeah.
So I imagine we'll probably see a lot more people like Leon Edwards move up.
Actually, I'm pretty sure they're probably going to put Masvidal. If he doesn't fight somebody else above him, they're going to probably put Edwards against him.
I imagine that's probably the story, especially after that.
The 3-piece and a soda in the back, and give him a full bucket.
Yeah, I imagine that's going to happen. I imagine there's probably be I don't know how to say his name.
Liza Dos Santos.
Dos Santos.
Dos Santos. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine he'll probably have another shot moving forward, moving up.
Well, I don't know because what's his face? Ponzinibbio, he needs to have a shot at a higher ranked guy too because he's been making a lot of headway lately.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of movement in the welterweight division.
Oh yeah. I'm really excited for that division. Finally. God, for 2 years there was just nothing going on there, man.
And then on top of all this drama in the welterweight division, you've got the sneaky snake himself, TJ Dillashaw, relinquishing his title because of a USADA violation. What was your thoughts?
I don't know how it got there. I mean, if this is going to be another picogram situation, then we're going to have to revisit some stuff. Because one, I don't think TJ would be the guy to do that willingly or knowingly. But then you see some of the photos of all the supplements that he was taking. I can understand how some shit would get messed up. However, if you take the DJ approach, if God didn't make it, you don't take it. You shouldn't have that problem.
On top of that, there's also been people at Team Alpha Male or Team Alpha MMA now. They changed their name.
Oh, wow.
Because they got women in there now. So you can't just be alpha male. You got to include the females.
Right.
So they changed their name, and there's people at that that's been there for a while that have said before, like Cody said before, surprised he hadn't popped yet. Uriah Faber said he's surprised he hadn't popped in the last 6 years. So there's people who have been in the locker room with him, trained with him, who have said that it's a possibility that he could have been popped in the past, just hadn't did it yet. So maybe he's being really ultra sneaky with it, and just fucked up once. But this is the first violation that I know of that he's had, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
So they'll probably be really light on him depending on what it is.
Okay, let's look at this though. Okay, let's say this is a legit situation of he has no idea how it happened, right? And he submits all his samples, and they find, hey, this batch was bad. Okay, they find out what it came from. Now we have another situation but it's measuring really small, like the picograms that John Jones get. Maybe it's not picograms, but maybe it's just really minute, and the only reason they did detect it was because of the weight cut. That will validate what John Jones has going on. Because, maybe he took it one time way back, and his body stored it. That kind of thing can happen. And then, if that's what happens, throwing a big-ass if in there, biggest font you can find on your computer. If that's what happened, I will lay off John Jones a little.
A little?
A little. Because you can't just dismiss everything.
Yeah.
Because, if it's been in your system once, how long ago did you do it?
Yeah.
So
with Dillashaw out of the way now, and he's dealing with all that, that leaves the championship open. So going forward, who do you see going up for it? Is there a possibility that Cejudo could jump in there with it?
Cejudo wants that belt.
Yeah.
I think he wants out of the 125 just so he doesn't have to make such a hard weight cut anymore. And I think they're probably going to shuttle that division. So putting Cejudo up one class to the 135s would make sense. But if Cejudo fights anybody, he needs to fight somebody that's deserving. Now, if you look at the list, you got number 1, Marlon Moraes. That's the guy I think should fight TJ for the belt beforehand. I think he should go with Cejudo against Cejudo for a interim belt. Okay, with no findings. If it's good finding,
Well, it wouldn't be an interim belt because he actually gave it up.
well, you know what I mean.
So it would be an actual title.
Yeah, so those two go for. Well, I think. Okay, let me just retract all that. Marlon Moraes should go against who I want to see him against is Pedro Munoz, because they're both on a hot streak right now. I want to see them knock out an interim belt, and then I want to see the interim champion go against Cejudo for the actual undisputed champion. That's what I think should happen. Because honestly, I like Cody, but I don't think he needs a shot right now. He's had 3 knockouts back to back, and Dominic's always fucking hurt. Aljamain is on a hot streak too as well. I think he should get the first shot at whoever has the undisputed belt.
Well, I'm not a big fan of the whole interim belt thing unless the guy's hurt.
Right.
What I do think would be interesting is if they did do the Pedro and
Moraes.
Moraes?
Did you say Marlon?
Marlon, there you go. That's what's going with the first name. I do think it would be interesting to see the Pedro and Marlon fight. I don't think you should put an interim title on there. I do think they should fight. And then at the end of that one, say this guy has the definite title shot. And right after that fight, you bring Cejudo in the ring and you do the stare down right there to get interest in it. Right? Because then you have they'll work both challengers here.
Yeah.
You can sell that fight as a challenger versus a challenger.
Right.
Even though one's got a title, and he'll walk around with that title all the time because he wants to show it off, and it probably covers up half his body.
Yeah.
But you can sell that fight as challenger versus challenger, and that's a good way to do it. I think if you put the title on one of them, right? If they win, they get the title. It kind of diminishes the bantamweight title that they're going for the next time.
Right.
So I think it would be interesting to see that. I don't think they should put an interim title on there. But I think everybody can agree the bantamweight should go against Cejudo because he wants that title. You can sell it as a super fight.
Yeah, easily.
I think that'd probably be the next best move for those two divisions.
Yeah, I really think the bantamweight needs to have a champion first to challenge for Henry Cejudo to challenge. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, as a fan, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
And then we have Holloway coming up next month fighting Poirier.
Yeah, that's
For
going to
the
be a good
interim
one
fight.
for the lightweight.
Yeah, for the
Interim
lightweight
belt.
interim belt, which is going to be interesting too because I love Holloway. He's a really good striker, and that's what you really want to see. You want to see two guys going in there, kicking and punching the shit out of each other and ground and pounding. The wrestling's always fun to watch if it's high level wrestling, and the BJJ is always fun because you're like, oh shit, when's it gonna happen? But whenever they're getting in there, they're striking at each other, they're hitting each other, getting out of the way of each other. There's blood and guts everywhere. That's what you want to see ultimately when you're watching fighting. And these two guys are always down to bring it. And that's why I think this is going to be a really good fight. Because look at Poirier's fights against Gagey. Against, God, who's his name he just left? Alvarez. Look at those two fights and tell me he's not in it to win it every single time he fights. And then Holloway, the way he just... he almost killed Brian Ortega out there in the ring. There's just so much blood. Ortega's got a chin made of, solid iron, steel. Let's say steel because iron bends. So steel, he has got a chin made of steel. Beat the hell out of him. So he's leaving his division to go challenge Khabib. Khabib is like, hey, prove yourself. He's like, all right, fuck it, I'll prove myself. Give me somebody. Well, Connor's not going to fight. Tony's wrapped up in his thing right now. Who's next? Poirier. Okay, let's go with Poirier.
I do like the fight coming up. I think it's going to be one of the better ones to watch. As far as the division go, I have thought about this.
I think it's stagnating right now.
It's very stagnant, that division, because Max has been on top for a while. So it would be nice to see kind of what happened in the bantamweight where they relinquished the title. Not so much the getting popped by USADA, that would suck.
God, yeah.
But I think if he gets the the lightweight interim belt, he should drop the featherweight because he's getting bigger anyway. And he drops the featherweight title. That way it frees up that whole division. Because look at the fights in that division that you can have that you just couldn't have with Max being there.
There's two fights that I really want to look for if you just look at the names in that freaking division. It's Alexander Volkanovski, who's doing really good right now. I would love to see him against either Frankie or Ortega. And then Zabit, who is just showing he's unstoppable right now, although Jeremy's put him up against the ropes once or twice. And so did, what was that dude's name? Just yelling at him in his face. Cannot remember that young kid's name. Kept pressing forward. Can't remember his name. But Zabit versus Renato Moicano would be a good fight, too.
I think if you look, if you take Max out of the equation and say they're going for like the title from then, just with everybody on there, you would probably put Aldo in there because he got the number one spot. That's probably what they would do.
Yep.
But then you would want to mix it up, and I think the best way to do that is to put Zabit versus Aldo, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a number 6 spot versus a number 1 spot. But that would also shake up that division severely, It's kind of like a paint can that's been sitting for a while. You shake it up. I think that right there would change everything about it.
Man, but there's still the fight that I've always wanted to see that they've had issues trying to arrange was the Frankie and Max fight.
It's there.
God,
it's
I
one
wanna
of the
see
fights
it,
that you want to watch.
Before that boy retires, I want to see it.
Like, if you take Zabit versus Aldo, say Zabit wins, right? He's got the title. Then you have literally most of the people in the top 10. Zabit hadn't fought, right? So you have all these new challengers that are there.
Who's he fought in the top 10? Jeremy Stevens, that's it.
Yeah. And plus, if you have Zabit as champ, you've got Ortega, you got Frankie. He would have fought Aldo, right? But then you got like Cub Swanson, which would be all right. Josh Emmett, which would be okay. You fight Yamas?
That one, I don't think so.
Rodriguez?
No. Yair would be a good one.
Like,
because they're supposed to actually have fought not too long ago.
You got plenty of them. You got plenty of options with just that one move. And plus, it puts the guy on top that they've been pushing for a while.
Yep.
So I think that'd be great. And even then, you'd have like the Brian Ortega fight, which would be amazing to watch.
Yeah, I like watching Ortega fight. I want to see. I can't wait for him to announce who he's going to fight next.
Yeah.
Because I'm waiting on that one. And I'm not really hung up right now on what's going on at middleweight and heavyweight. Although I can't wait for Whitaker to come back and really show Gastelum what's up.
You think Gastelum's going to get it with Israel?
No, I think Israel's going to get it. Although I'll give Kelvin the power chance, that puncher chance, man, because he's got so much power.
I think he's got the puncher chance, but I think if he's able to grab a hold of Israel and keep him down, then that's going to really mess him up.
I think his ground and pound will fuck Israel up.
I think not only that, I think his the way he can hold someone down and tire him out, I think that's really going to mess it up. Because as far as I know, Israel's never been gassed out in the ring.
No, and then if you look at how he fights heavier set opponents, look how he worked Brunson.
Yeah.
He just ran through Brunson like he wasn't even there, dude.
Yeah.
And then he took on one of the greatest fighters of all time, Anderson Silva, who still looks like he can do it very well.
Which you could debate. There's like 2 rounds that Israel lost there.
Yeah, I think there was.
So that being said, I mean, it's either how good Aldo is, or even Aldo. What did I say?
You said how good Aldo.
How good Silva is. Sorry, and how what was happening with Israel at the time? Was something wrong with him?
Or
Did he just not keep the pace?
Or was he just being cautious because it's Anderson fucking Silva?
Like it's amazing to see what happened in that fight if you watch it. A lot of little details. But on top of that, like I really want to see Israel versus somebody who can grab him and like hold him. You know?
Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to tell
That'd be great. That would be good. But like even then, like a Souza, a guy who get him in his guard and hold him down in his guard.
True.
Weidman would be all right, but I think he could outstruck.
I think Weidman wouldn't really have a chance against Israel, just given recent history.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Rockhold should be in the division anymore.
Well, Rocco said he's moving up, which, I mean, good luck, bro.
I mean, all power to you. I hope you do the things you want to do. But, man, you're just such a douche.
Well, I mean, like...
He's such a douche.
He's been finished a couple times in his recent fights.
Okay.
Right? TKOs and knockouts and all that. And
Rockhold got finished by Bisping. This is the Count Pillow Fist.
He's coming off several losses. I mean, he wants to go light heavyweight. He's been talking about it for like 2 years. He just hadn't made the transition yet, hadn't took a fight, whatever it is. But you're going up to a place that's got, I mean, severe punching power.
Oh, yeah.
You got Teixeira in there.
Let's
Glover's in there.
Let's just look at the top 5. Okay?
Top 5?
Who in top 5 has punching power? They could probably just level Rockhold. The champ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jones could.
Jones easily could. I think Gus again could because his
Probably.
length too. Thiago Santos can knock out fucking anybody.
Yeah, he's got a chance. I mean,
it's just like, come on, bro. These guys are.
Well,
not...
even if you look below the top 10, you go to number 10, Jimmy Manuel, right?
Jesus, I know.
Oven St. Preux, Glover Teixeira,
Johnny Walker, who's on a tear.
Shogun. You got all these people. Like, you're going up. It's going to be hard. Like, I understand you'll probably be a little lighter than most.
And Vulcan.
Yeah, Vulcan. I understand you'll probably be a little lighter, but man, that's a hard thing, man.
Yeah, you're going to be the smallest dude at light heavyweight. That's going to be a hard finish if you get finished.
Yeah, that's going to be one that's...
That's just going to be like, lights out, boy. All right, Rocco, let's put the stamp on your career. Smash!
I don't understand that one. That's gonna be rough for him, you know. But even then, there's still a lot of people Israel's got in front of him.
Yeah, Israel's got a few, man, but he's got that interim fight coming up against. I really think Israel's got that fight if he can stay standing, which he's got length enough to stay away, and his power. I mean, the power is there.
I thought about this a couple of days ago. Could you imagine, right? Say Israel, just debuts and he's kind of on this run.
Right.
You imagine if Uriah Hall in his prime comes in, right? Like a prime Uriah Hall versus an Israel.
It'd be an interesting fight.
That'd be one hell of a fight. I thought the 2 strikers. One's got like a shotgun for a right leg.
Yeah, no shit.
I think there's a lot in the welterweight or the middleweight division that's kind of being held up because of Whittaker, but it's going along, With Rocco leaving, Yoel's got no shot right now because Whittaker's got it, so you really got the top 3, 4, 5.
And the guy Yoel was going to fight fucking Pop too.
Yeah,
Paulo Costa. Supermodel.
Did you think he wasn't on the juice?
No, not at all. Never thought he would have sketchy practices.
Really?
No, it's total fabrication.
Oh, okay.
I mean, heavyweight's not moving anywhere, and for some reason they won't give Stipe a fight.
They something interesting on the UFC website. I just noticed. Do you notice?
Oh, yeah.
We're missing a weight class here. What happened to the flyweights?
They're not in it?
Or the featherweights in the women's
See,
division.
there's a page 2.
There's not a page 2.
I'll go to the top.
Yeah. See, like Cyborg Lasso, like deuces.
That whole division's gone.
Everybody's making 140 or 135 now.
Well, that makes sense because Yana Kunitskaya is down there too.
Yeah, I guess.
Son of a bitch. What's Cyborg's real name?
Justine something.
Oh, she's in strawweight. Jesus Christ.
That's one hell of a weight cut. Yeah, but that's a little bit of what's happening, and a little mix-up that could possibly happen in the.
Yeah, there's not much going on with the women right now either. With Amanda tying up 2 divisions, nobody's really wanting to fight her right now, and she's not really wanting to fight right now. It's not. I don't think she's not wanting to. She just came off that very dominant win.
Well, she
And
fought.
she's riding out a few months
Well,
later.
she fought basically back to back to back to back.
Yeah,
I mean,
I get it.
you can take a break, bro. She's down in Brazil right now, doing whatever,
Her wife.
probably.
And then we got Valentina, who's about to fight. I want to say Jessica. I got the shot,
Yeah, she got it.
which is going to be a good one.
That's gonna be
Man,
interesting.
Joanna dropped all the way to 4th.
Well, it's because she went up.
Well, that and I think Caitlyn just won too. So I probably jumped her up.
Yeah, I think so.
The whole division's weird.
Well, she's only had one fight in the flyweight. She went up to fight the Bullet.
Nico Montana. Where's she even at now?
I don't know. She's not on there.
No.
That
Maybe she quit.
they took her belt away and they're like, "Yeah, you're off the damn thing." Let's see, and then Rose is doing Rose things. She's got Andre.
She's finally got a fight coming up, and it is no slouch in Jessica Andrade.
It's gonna be interesting.
That's going to be a good fight. I want to see that one really bad.
With that being said, let's move on to the big news of today about Conor's apparent retirement, which I'm not buying for one fucking minute.
Publicity stunt, I believe, because I think he was trying to get a fight or getting more money or trying to get a share
He's
of the
did
company,
it before,
and
so
they're not having it. And he's like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to retire. Now what? Now that your cash cow is leaving, what are you going to do?
yeah.
I think it's a business tactic. I mean, if it's legit, all the best to him, man. But
I'm not
I
gonna
don't think
believe
so.
it.
He's younger than me. Come on, man.
I'm 100% not believing it until he's out of the USADA testing pool and he's 100% gone.
Yeah, I mean, I have to side with you on that one.
It's what it is. Like I didn't think George would be away from the sport until he said he was like, I'm out of the USADA testing pool. There's nothing I want to do in there, and he was gone. But there was like 4 years where he was absent of MMA and still
Show
was
up
there.
at the events. He'd do some press here and there, but he was never actually saying, "I'm coming back. I'm doing this." He was like,
Yeah,
I'm good."
yeah. So there's always like the
Then he
maybe.
got the itch.
Yeah, Bisping's got the belt. I got a chance. So that's basically it. I mean, there's been a lot of hearsay and thearsay about other things in the UFC, but that's the big news since last time, at least. Right? You got anything else?
Nope. Other than Colby talking shit and Max getting his chance at light heavyweight. That'd be a hell of a push, wouldn't it? I mean,
Light heavyweight,
at
yeah.
lightweight. Max getting his chance at lightweight, and
You never know, man. BJ Penn fought at heavyweight.
yeah, but this is them old days where you just go out and eat a few burgers and be a heavyweight. Now you gotta do diets and supplements and shit.
He fought Machida at heavyweight, if I remember right.
Both those guys are insane. Any other news? Any other league we want to talk about?
Not really.
Bare knuckle fights signing Paulie Malignaggi, the boxer.
Did we not cover that last time?
I don't think so.
No.
That would be an interesting fight.
The relevant boxer is now still irrelevant in a
Well,
different
how about
league.
this? Because him and Connor have beef, Connor's quitting MMA to go fight in the bare knuckle fighting league just so he can shut Paulie up, and then he's going to come back.
Yeah, maybe. That's one hell of a way to do it.
I mean, it's a long shot, but you never know. Stranger shit has happened.
I've never liked
See an
Paulie.
eagle fly out of the cage.
Even when he was boxing and they were like, "Oh, he's the champ and he's this and that," he just wasn't irrelevant. He was just irrelevant the entire time. He's been irrelevant. The only reason people know him is from broadcasting and losing a sparring match to Connor.
Yeah.
That was it. And then whining about it for what is it, 2 years now? 2-3 years?
Where's your balls, Connor? Where's your balls? Make sure you bring your balls, Connor. Like, bro, we get it. We get it. You're from Jersey.
I don't know where he's from. I can tell you I don't like him just from
Boston.
all the shit that I've heard.
Look at his name.
Paulie Malignaggi.
Paulie Malignaggi.
Malignaggi.
It's gotta be from Boston.
I don't know. I've never. I think most people agree with me. Like I've never like unless you're a hardcore boxing fan and you're like, oh, he's really good, but you're like one in 900.
I know a lot of boxing fans who don't really know who Paulie Malignaggi is or his career. So
I imagine most people know him from broadcasting, from
Yeah,
doing
I think
the
that's-
commentary. That's it.
I mean, I know Roy Jones Jr. because of his broadcasting, but I also know him because of his career.
Yeah.
I mean, I know every UFC commentator that's actually had a career in it.
Yeah. Because it's relevant.
Yeah.
Like there was some reason that made them, so big that they were like, yeah, he can talk too, and put him on the desk.
Maybe it's just because his voice appeals to that Boston, Jersey group of people, and because boxing's a New York thing, really.
Yeah, I mean it's mostly it's up there in that area, that peninsula up there.
Down here in the South, we fight in cages.
I wouldn't even say that, man. Like, not anymore. Like,
Cage fighting is a Roman thing. What are you talking about?
it's like the basic thing you could do.
Throw them in a room and they can't get out. Make them kill each other.
Yeah, everybody can do it. It's interesting when you think about it. At some point, someone was like, "I want to fight you, but only with hands, and then we're gonna put pillows on our hands, and then you can only punch me in the face, nothing below the belt. Also, we got fucking 5-minute rounds or 3-minute rounds,
We're gonna get 12 of them.
and we're gonna have a minute break in between.
Why? Why don't we just fight?
Just follow me, man. This is gonna work.
Okay. Ready?
We're gonna have 37 weight divisions.
Okay. What are the rules again?
All right, so I'm gonna.
And that's when you lay into them. Exactly. Motherfucker.
I just never understood boxing that. Like, I do like watching the older fights back before, there was a
spectacle.
lot of like politics with it, and they're like, oh, we'll put this guy who's got 37 wins and 0 losses against the guy who's got 2 losses.
Yeah, we'll put this professional against this amateur and tell everybody that he's a professional too,
Yeah,
so he can crush these cans all day.
which like I know that's happened since boxing has been around.
Well, I get you want to
You
get
know,
practice and you want to get better at your skill without injuring your fighter, but you can't just go in there every time against a freaking dummy bag
Yeah,
who barely swings back, man. You got to get in there against a challenge.
it's just like I like watching the
Then
older
again, I'm not a
stuff,
fighter, man. So
but it is what it is now. I'm not a big fan of boxing unless it's a big event. And even then, I mean, they come around once every other year, it seems like.
yep, nothing's happening with Canelo. Nothing's gonna happen with Mayweather anytime soon. Nothing's gonna happen with Tyson and Wilder. Now that they're on both two different,
Even with Joshua,
Yeah.
nothing's
Yeah.
going to happen with that.
it's just really nice.
They're really pushing that Garcia kid, but he just lost.
Yeah, he just lost to Earl Spence, and he didn't just lose, man. He just got shown up for 12 rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I think 2 judges gave him 2 rounds in the beginning, but that's it.
But he's the next coming, man. He's the guy that you're going to put all your money on.
Not really. Going up 2
Ugh.
weight classes is a big deal in any sport.
Well, I mean, in boxing,
In boxing, that's 14 pounds.
yeah. Or it depends on
In
where you're
MMA,
at.
it'd be what, 20?
Yes. No, it'd be more than that.
No, that's
Depending on what weight class you're in.
Well, yeah,
Yeah. Because, like,
a lightweight to
Like
I
you
get
put the-
welterweight.
the middleweight to the light heavyweight is like 20 pounds.
Yeah, that's going up one division.
That's
But
one
man,
division.
But look at all the other ones.
Yeah, it's
Going
like
to flyweight, going up 2 weight classes is 20 pounds. Like,
Yeah.
crazy.
It's just weird. Like I don't understand the boxing weight classes.
7-pound increments, son.
Like there's one that was like if you looked at like Floyd Mayweather, there's one like if you look at the weight classes he was in, one of them was like 2 pounds difference, one was like 3 pounds difference, and you're like, what's the point of having the 3 pound difference? Like I understand it affects you a little bit, but even then, it's 3 fucking pounds.
Put on different gloves.
Yeah, I mean it makes no sense to me.
Take the plaster off.
That was a bad fight.
God, he got.
Did you ever watch that
I think
30
he
for
almost
30?
Killed him, didn't he?
No, it ruined his career.
Yeah.
It broke his eye sockets,
Hey,
everything. He killed himself because of it.
the pain, yeah.
That was a rough one.
Who was that?
It was this, I think it was a Puerto Rican guy who was in New York fighting, and he had, his coach did that to him without telling him. That was the story for years. And then recently he was like, I might have known about it, and it changed so often, but everyone's like, yeah, he kind of knew he was cheating.
Yeah. Fucker.
It was rough. But, yeah, I remember I started boxing, like, the small details like that, like, what, just fight, you know? Like, every time I watch a boxing match, I'm like, throw a leg kick. Just one leg, like, just throw one leg kick.
Just fuck that
Ruin
dude's
his fucking
power
day.
up. Can't plant anymore. He's not going to be able to move as quick. Oh, man.
I think it would be more exciting if they did boxing with leg kicks, just leg kicks, not necessarily ones up to the head.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
just like lower calf kicks
Yeah.
or up in the thigh.
Below the belt kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kickboxing.
Yeah, but the kickboxing, you go directly to the face.
Yeah, you can.
Just below the belt. More like,
That'd be interesting. Every boxer would be screwed.
oh yeah, well, it'd take you off your base real quick because you'd be trying to like square up and they're like, nope, bam.
Wait a minute.
You would have to go.
That's why they sting cockeyed.
You would have to go like a point karate style or something like that, like a Wonder Boy.
Yeah. You gotta be careful of them Superman punches, though.
True. Like, or like a MVP, like when he fights, same sort of thing.
Oh man, his fight against Daly was so boring.
Oh yes.
Oh, somebody was telling me like, hey, what do you think about MVP if he goes to UFC? I was like, top 5 is probably gonna murk him.
Just a guy with really good wrestling.
Yeah, top 5 would murk him.
Yeah.
I really think so. I think he'd have a really good shot if he started like top 15 and worked his way up. Give him a little bit of like development space before he got there. But I think somebody in the top 5, like, because what's his weight class at?
He's a welterweight.
Yeah, because there ain't no way he's getting past Usman. There ain't no way he's getting past, what the hell is that? Ben Askren. There ain't no way he's going to get past half of those
Robbie
guys.
Lawler would fuck him up. All right, you'd have some good strikes here and there, but Robbie would power through it, fucking double leg him, and that would be the fight.
I think Masvidal would just kill him. Like,
Oh,
there's just so many people. So, yeah, I think Bellator has a lot of good fighters, and I think there's some really good names in that. But MVP's talent level, I don't know if it'll translate to the UFC if he ever gets the call and he comes over.
I don't think it's going to translate much further in the tournament they're in.
Yeah, because Paul Daly showed him what was up.
Yeah, Paul
Hey, I
Daly.
stayed out of your range,
Yeah.
dude. I kind of wrestled you a little bit.
I mean,
That's how much he did.
he's got a lot of people in that tournament to deal with coming up, and Roy McDonald's one of
Yeah,
them.
he's got McDonald to worry about.
Isn't Masasi in it too? Masasi's a
I
well,
don't know. I don't think.
or no, that's middleweight.
Yeah, because he's up one weight class.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got a couple people in there that's like, something you really got to look forward to. He's going to get wrestled.
Yeah.
I guess what's going to happen.
Paul Daly kind of showed what was up because Daly's wrestling skills aren't really that great, but somebody without great wrestling skills put you up against the ropes there, buddy. They put you on the ground. Maybe he didn't stay on top of you like a top-notch wrestler would, but he put you in a position. Douglas Lima, right? Yeah, I think Douglas Lima would fuck him up.
Yeah, that should be.
That's his next fight. Yeah, that's his next fight.
Yeah,
Douglas
no,
Lima
it would be
versus-
whoever wins that one.
No, Lima's already won.
No, that's in
Yeah,
September.
Lima already won.
Did he?
Yeah, Lima already won.
I'm not sure about that. Did Lima already win?
Pull him up. I'm pretty sure Lima already won that one. Because they're waiting for these 2 fights on this other side bracket
You know,
to finish.
Yeah, I think he did. Now I'm thinking about it.
Because Lima was already talking about fighting him. I think it's Lima.
Yeah, so you got MVP fighting Lima, and that's going to be an interesting one.
I think
to
Doug
say the
Lima
least.
can just put him on the ground and work him because Lima's a decent wrestler.
I mean, even you look on the opposite side, you got Gracie to deal with,
Yep.
right? That he's pretty damn good.
Yep.
I've seen his last couple fights. He's on the rise. And then besides that, you either got Roy McDonald or John Fitch to deal with, and both of those are going to wrestle the hell out of you if you try to strike them.
I think a good fight. Man, I really hope we don't go to a rematch between Rory and Lima again because, God, that was
Yes.
a brutal fight to watch.
That was very one-sided.
Yeah.
But I think the next one, the Roy McDonald John Fitch fight, that's going to be good because John Fitch just won, or not. He was the PFL's champion before he left.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a champion versus championship fight.
Yep. I mean, former champ versus current champ who relinquished the belt for the tournament.
Yeah. No, he still has the belt.
Yeah, but doesn't he? If you lose it here, he loses it all, and then whoever wins. Gets
No,
it, right?
this is he's got.
He's,
He's
he
right. Yeah,
basically
yeah.
has to defend it all
Yeah,
the way
yeah,
through.
yeah. He's got to defend all of them.
So if he loses to Fitch, then the winner of the final match actually has to, or actually gets the belt.
Yeah.
So he's putting it up for grabs. Like he's basically got to fight 3 times to keep his belt,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
It's interesting.
That's a really good tournament style. Right?
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, he agreed to it, so I mean, it's up to him.
I mean, fuck it, why not, right?
They should do a tournament like Mortal Kombat tournaments where it's you start at the bottom, and you just
Oh,
keep
Jesus.
going up.
That would be crazy. But yeah, I think Douglas Lima gives MVP problems. I think he gives MVP a lot of problems. But I also think MVP's range keeps Lima a little farther back. But Roy's got range
Yeah.
just as well as MVP. So I think Lima's got more of an advantage here, not just with his wrestling, but with dealing with somebody who can fight from a distance. But MVP is very dynamic.
I think if you
Well,
have
he didn't do any of it against Daly.
if you have somebody who can put pressure on MVP like very aggressively, and wrestling obviously is that's gonna really destroy MVP in the long run. But if you can put the pressure on, get inside, and be aggressive and probably back him up towards the cage, and maybe push him up against the cage, work at him from there, then that's where you're gonna win. That's your bread and butter. As long as you can be more aggressive, because if you get MVP comfortable, that's where you mess up.
Yeah.
That's where all his things were. That's all his highlight reels. That's the knee to the head. That's the hurricane kick. It's when he got comfortable in there. So if you can knock him off that game, I think that's where you're really gonna win.
Keep him moving at a pace that he doesn't want to move.
Backwards.
Yeah, take him out of his control spot. Yeah, because every time Daly pushed forward and MVP was going backwards, not that he didn't know what to do, he was just frantic on where to go and how to get out of what Daly was trying to accomplish.
Yeah, he's a forward moving person.
Yeah, he's an attacker. He's not a defender.
Yeah. So I imagine somebody who can get on the inside, grab him, and probably dirty box him a little bit or push him up against the cage, wear him out. That's gonna really handicap him, and we'll know pretty soon. Because even if he does get through Lima, he's either got to go through Gracie, Roy McDonald, or John Fitch. All of them.
All of them are going to
Pretty
present a
rough.
challenge.
Yeah.
Man, it's got some good possible fights coming up in the long run.
Yeah.
All the divisions getting shaken up, all the tournament news, and then Connor doing what he's doing, and there's just a lot going on right now to me. There's a good time to be a fan,
It's a great time to be a fan.
especially with ESPN.
They didn't pay us anything to sponsor.
No, but I like the fact that it's on ESPN Plus now.
Yeah, it's a lot. The quality got really good with UFC.
The production quality alone went up, and then I think one thing I noticed right away on that very first card, and they're still doing it, which I love, is they pass the ball around. It's not just one host saying something for a while. It's boom, mid sentence, shoot over to Dan.
Yeah, they're doing a lot better. I do like it. It's a lot better than what is. Have you tried watching Fox now when they do the boxing?
Yeah, they try to do the same method that they had with the UFC and stuff, and
It's just not working.
it's not working out very well.
There's no reason to watch it. There's nothing. I tried to turn it on, and I was like, I want to see how they're doing it, and it just looked like they copied and pasted it.
That's exactly what they did. Whoever is producing it just wants to run the same format because it's easy. instead of doing something unique to boxing.
They had all this same. They got Xboxers to do the hosting part of it. They even had that damn punching machine that was there.
Yeah.
And they just rebranded it. Like, it's the same one.
I mean,
The funny part is when you watch that and you go, okay, let me compare these numbers of professional boxers that do nothing but punch against people who do other things than that, who practice other, disciplines. Then you're like, oh, there's a little difference here. There's why is some of them getting beat out by like MMA guys when the other is like, you're a boxer. You're supposed to be able to just plow through people with your face.
yeah.
It's just an interesting point because eventually you can be like, you know, the heavyweight champ punches harder than that.
Oh, son.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah, Fox is really kind of dropping the ball. I get it. Maybe once the MMA left, once the UFC left, they want to keep up their presence in the combat sports arena. But they really need to work on fine-tuning that and taking whoever's producing the show to a class or getting them out of there because you can't run the same format from show to show. You can't copy and paste. And Fox really needs to, if you want to be the center of that sport or you want to be relevant in that sport, you have to make it unique. Why do people want to watch you if you're doing the same thing you did for UFC?
Here's the interesting part about it is
ESPN, they have so many shows for each thing. NFL, Red Zone, all those different
the
broadcasts.
thing about it is there's no other place to watch boxing. It's off Showtime. It's off everything else. Fox is the only place.
DAZN. I mean, if you want to pay for DAZN, yeah.
Yeah, but like on a public television, you know, if you pay for cable or whatever, that's the only place you're really going to watch it.
Yeah.
So they have that market cornered, really. It's kind of their thing. And, I mean, if people are still watching it, people really care that much about it, they're going to go there.
Yeah, to each their own there. I mean, I'm not the execs, but if you want to make it interesting to your group and drive your ratings up, don't copy and paste the format.
It just don't make sense to me. I don't understand it. I don't like boxing that much anyway. So,
Yeah, I mean, I know I get it. I'm the same. No other news, Jake?
no, I didn't see anything worth talking about.
I heard there's a good deal on 3 pieces of soda.
Yeah, they give like certain discounts.
Yeah, especially
Usually people-
backstages. By the way, if you haven't seen any of that shit was hilarious.
I'm sure you can still find it on Twitter, but if you're listening to this, you've probably seen it by now.
Jorge Masvidal with a 3-piece and a soda, as he so eloquently put it.
There's your next fight. That's what's going to happen next.
Yep. Promo. Good way to cut a promo.
Very good way. A lot of interest.
He should definitely walk out to the ring with a KFC bucket with a grape soda. Jorge?
That'd be funny.
That would be hilarious. KFC sponsor. And a Fanta soda.
There you go. There's your money. Money.
Money, 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 money.
Copyright. It's a parody. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, if I do it myself, it's
Yeah.
not-
We did the whole thing.
it has to be the exact same thing.
Yeah. I mean, that was out of tone too.
No, I would have to copy and paste the track for it to be copyrighted.
All right, then never mind. Then.
Good.
Sing all you want.
Yep.
Don't do that.
I can do cover songs on YouTube. without
Can you?
copyright. Yeah.
Go for it.
Nope.
Come on.
This is not the parody show. This is the MMA show. With all that being said, and no other relevant news, Jacob, you got anything?
Nope.
Justin, do you got anything?
Nope.
No. Follow us at Hook JP or at Hook Justin. Thanks for tagging along.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Hook J Podcast. Hope you enjoyed today's show. See you next episode.
Sometimes you've got to do what's right for you and not do what's right for everybody else.
Quick question.
Yep.
Cake or pie?
Cake or pie?
Cake or pie?
Cake. I
Why?
hate pie.
Why?
Because I hate pie.
Why is cake so much better than pie?
Because I don't like pie.
Why not?
Because of consistency. It's like if it's too warm, it like flows out of the crust, and if it's not one of the like solid cake or solid pies like key lime or cheesecake, that kind of thing.
Is cheesecake a pie?
Yes,
Why?
because it's in the crust, the same crust that they use.
But
for
it's
a
cake.
pie.
It says
it's
cake.
just a name. That's just a name. Don't let the names fool you, Jacob.
But it's technically a cake.
Yeah, and a waffle
And a
is a
pie.
crunchy pancake.
I'm just saying, man. Like it's a toss up. All right, is it a cake or a pie? You can't really decide. You know.
What about you?
I don't know, man. I like them both. If I could take a pie and put it inside of a
This
cake,
is an old El Paso commercial. Why not both?
I don't know that one.
Oh, come on now.
I mean, but I'm saying, like, you get a cake, you get a pie. You're always gonna choose a cake, right?
All right, before you go any farther, end the show. In this,
All right.
hit the damn button.